Hey, man. Yeah, not much. I'm just waiting around for my master. Okay. I guess I can tell you about him. Oh, man, his name's Bertram Tongue. He's a Nosferatu. Oh, man, I wish I knew where he was. I'm getting antsy waiting around for him. I need to tell him some stuff, you know? I don't know where he is or stays or anything. Oh, man, whenever he needs me, he just, appears. Oh, man. Well, he's like the only vampire I know, but, well, he seems pretty damn powerful. Oh, man. Well, when he's looking at you, it's like he's really spinning your brain, It's like trippy. It's crazy. Man. But I guess that's the Nosferatu's thing, They, know everything, I guess. It's crazy. He just appears out of, thin air. The first time he appeared, bam! Like to give me a goddamn heart attack. Oh, man. Especially how he looks. Blah. Bertram says he's needed someone to do some things. Oh, man, he'd been watching me work as a bounty hunter for a while, and bam, he picked me. Oh, man, it's so cool. It's like a job promotion, only I get to, live forever and stuff. Oh, man. Wow. Bertram had me keeping an eye on this guy. This Asian dude who's been poking around Santa Monica. Bertram thought he might be a vampire or something like a vampire. I don't know. Oh, man, this guy, this thing got wise to me. Now, instead of me watching him, he's watching me, I see this guy appear around me all the time, off in the distance watching me. He'll warp up next to me. Oh, man, then disappear. Oh, what are you saying? What? How did you know? Look. Oh, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, why should I tell you anything, huh? I mean, you're not being straight with me. Okay. Damn it. Damn. Oh, man, all right, look. I messed up, okay? I'm just doing what I was told, though. Bertram knew you were coming. Knew you'd come by here. He planted me and told me what to say about the Asian vamp, but it's true. I swear. And everything else is true, too. This Asian guy needs to be taken out. I can't do it, so Bertram needs you to. He can't stick his neck out like that. He doesn't deal directly. His way, I guess. So can you do it? Hell yeah! Right on! Okay, like I said, he's some kind of Asian vampire thing, The only clue I got is this driver's license that he dropped once while I was tailing him. I've been so freaked out that I haven't even had a chance to check it out. No, the picture on the license isn't him. I don't know why he had it, but, well, it might help you find out where he is and what he's doing. Here, take it. Right on! Just come back and let me know the job's done so I can stop freaking out. Oh, man. Maybe I'll see Bertram by then. Oh, man, yeah, sure. What do you want to know? It's awesome! Man, after that first taste of vampire blood, it's like the best drug. Oh, man, I'm telling you, it's like... Well, it didn't mess me up. It just made me feel like I was better at everything. I felt like a god just sucking on that nasty dude's wrist.
Hello there. How you been? Welcome to Kilpatrick 24-Hour Bail Bonds. My name's Arthur Kilpatrick. How can I help you? Yep, sure do. I'm a third-generation bondsman. Got a few employees, but I handle most every aspect of the business. I gotta have a few other bondsmen to keep the place open 24 hours, plus a bounty hunter. I pull the graveyard shift because that's when all the crazy shit happens in Santa Monica. Well, my business ain't bad, I can tell you that much. Santa Monica's gone downhill. Used to be pretty nice, I guess. We do a higher volume now than we did a few years ago, but we gotta deal with a lot more bail jumpers and crap like that. Hell yeah, I ain't complaining. I'm in a good position to watch it all just slide right down the tubes, you know what I mean? Of course, goes with the business. Then you sick the bounty hunter on him. You betcha. I used to do some bounty hunting myself back in the day. Takes a solid set of brass balls to make a good bounty hunter, I'll tell you that much. Yep, damn good. His name's Carson, and he's great at what he does when he wants to do it. I can't seem to find him now, though. He's pissing me off, to be honest. I need him to go find someone. Well, I don't feel right cutting Carson loose just yet. We go way back. I knew his father, too. Tell you what, since I'm stuck here, why don't you go look for him? Just real quick. I'll pay you for your time. Great, great. I suppose the first place you should look is his apartment in Santa Monica Suites. Apartment 1, I think it is. Maybe you'll find something there to let you know where he's got himself to. Here's a key card. That'll let you in. Sure, pal. What is it? What place you want to know about? Oh, you mean that club, the Asylum? We get drunk and disorderlies and drug busts out of there sometimes. Some fights. The owners run it pretty tight, though. You know, I'm not even sure. Couple of ladies, sisters, I think. You don't see them around here too much. What place you want to know about? Ah, yeah, I know the place. Funny thing is, that spot used to hold a stinky old pet store. Now it's some hoity-toity art gallery with wine and cheese and whatnot. What place you want to know about? Yeah, sure, where? Yeah, that old diner been there going on 4 decades now. Ain't really had a staff change since Nixon was in office, neither. Good people there. What place you want to know about? Yeah, sure, where? The old pier used to really draw in tourism money, but it don't so much anymore. It's pretty much just an old weather-beaten landmark now.
Hunger. I need it. A drop of it on my tongue, sliding down my throat. The hot flash in my brain lighting up my body. I can smell it everywhere. Blood. Let me go. It's painful, like I'm going to die. It's calling. Never felt like this before. Let me go. I can smell it. I have to have it. Let me go!
Huh? What? Oh. Huh?
You don't look well at all.
Oh, sweet mother of God!
The heat. It's never been so satisfying. All of it. I drank until I heard his heart stop, and I was sucking on a dry, dead artery. It was euphoric. But I've killed him. I've never killed anyone before. What happened? What came over me? What just happened? It's not who I am. I've never done anything like that before. I'm not a monster. I tried to steal some blood. I heard they sold it. I was hungry, and I can't hunt in town. They caught me, and I was trapped. Thought I'd never escape, but I killed a man. I have to get out of here. My name is Lily. E? You know E? How do you know E? I tried to tell E about his condition, but he was so furious at me for what I'd made him into, he wouldn't listen. A thin blood, from what I've been told, is a vampire whose blood is weaker than most. Rolf, my sire, told me some vampires consider thin bloods a bad omen and want them destroyed. Rolf wasn't a thin blood, and apparently I am. I don't know why. Rolf abandoned me. His group wouldn't take me in. They said I was a liability. He left me with so many questions, and I did the same thing to E, but I didn't want to leave E. He forced me out of his life. I should go. I have to get out of here. Maybe out of the city. Soon. E doesn't hate me anymore? I'll go see him. Thank you. Oh, about tonight, what I did? Please, don't tell E. It's not my fault. I couldn't control it. I've never done anything like this before. I'm no killer.
Why'd you have to go and let that bitch out? There's one less Phil in the world now. Why'd you have to let her go and eat him, huh? Now I'll never get to do in that bastard myself. Well, you know what? No blood for you. No more! Blood comes from out of the living. From all kinds in a red torrent. The crimson seep at the speed of a heartbeat. For each drop, a teeny bit of life shed. You don't care how it's got, as long as it is. You'll be begging for it, and not getting any.
This life's been hard on him, both of us, but he forgives me. We're leaving soon. I have some family with a place out in the middle of nowhere in Oregon. It should be okay for us to stay out there, as long as we're together. Thank you.
You brought my Lily back. She told me all about what happened. I don't know why you helped us, but your blood's worth bottling. I'll never let her go again. Thank you. We're going to be getting out of LA soon. Too dangerous here. Rosa told us something big's about to happen, and I don't want to be here when the jack comes out of the box. Take that for what you will.
Hello? Might I speak with Mr. McGee? Well, I'm not sure. I had an appointment with him a few days ago, but he never seemed to show up. Do you know when he'll return? Well, Mr. McGee was going to be doing some modeling for me. Medical reference for the work that I do here in the studio. It's a shame, really. The proposition would have been quite lucrative for him. Why, yes, that sounds delightful. Perhaps you could come down to my studio and we can sort out the details. I'm at the end of Main Street, small basement studio. The sign says Gimbel's Prosthetics. Just ring the buzzer and I'll let you in.
Hello! Welcome to Gimbel's Prosthetics and Medical Supplies. You're here for the modeling job? Good, good. You seem to have rather well-developed limbs, if you don't mind me saying so. Oh, yes, forgive me. My name is Gimbel, Stanley Gimbel. But, oh, dear, let us dispense with formalities. You can call me Stan. Aha! An eager participant. Very good. Just give me a few moments to get my equipment ready, and then come on in and we'll get started.
Huh? Oh, hey, help! You gotta get me out of here, man. This guy's a freaking nut job. Who, Gimbel? Yeah, Gimbel. That guy's been taking pieces off of me and McGee over here for the last 3 days. He's crazy, man. Freaking crazy. Thanks, man. You're a lifesaver. I wasn't sure I was gonna make it. I'm telling you, I've been on some weird cases, but this one takes the cake. Yeah, that's me. How did you know? He did? Oh, man, that's solid. I owe that guy big. I hope I can figure out a way to get him back for this. What? Oh, no, man. No, not for me anymore. Look at my hand. Gimbel took my trigger finger for a trophy. I'm all through with this business. I hate to leave Arthur in a lurch, but that's just the way it is. Thanks again. Don't worry, I'll take care of old Stumpy here.
What's shaking? What? Ain't coming back? What do you mean he ain't coming back? Man, that's a tough one. Bounty hunter ain't no good without his trigger finger. Well, hell, that really leaves me in hot water, boy. Gonna cost old Arthur real good. I got this guy with a sheet a mile long, put in on 3 warrants. His girlfriend put up for the bond, and now he missed the court date. I can't get in touch with either of them. Want a job? Well, it won't be much of a job since you ain't licensed and all, but until I can get me another bounty hunter, I need you to find out if this guy skipped town or what. Yeah, no body attachment or nothing. Just find out if he's here or where he went. I'll pay you. Deal? Great, all right. The guy's name is Mike Durbin. Goes by the name Muddy. His girlfriend put up for his bond. She lives over there above Tripp's pawn shop. Her name is Marion Murrieta, but I haven't been able to get in touch with her. Well, he was brought up on manslaughter charges years back, but he got acquitted. Since then, he's been in and out for this and that, small-time stuff mostly. Most recently, he was brought in as part of a big case on stolen auto parts. It's this big chop shop thing that's going on in Santa Monica. Been in the paper. That's right, Marianne Murrieta, in them crappy places above the pawn shop. Find out where the hell Muddy is, where is he going, whatever. But be careful, you're not licensed, and if anything bad goes down, I don't know you hear me? Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Here you are. All right, come back when you got some info. Thanks in advance.
Hey, Mayor, it's Mike. Look, I gotta head downtown for a few days, maybe longer. If Reno calls, tell him to meet me down there. We got something to discuss, apparently. I'll be at Milton's place in the Skyline Lofts 2A. Sorry, baby. I'll explain everything later.
Hey there, Slick. So what'd you find out about Muddy? All right, then. I'll have to call in some bounty hunters to help me find Muddy and a couple of other jumpers. Thanks for all your help. Oh, right. Sorry about that. Here you are. See you around, then. If you ever find yourself or a loved one locked up, please call.
Yo, dude, you do that thing yet? Right on, man! Yes! Hey, I'm sorry again for what happened before. I still haven't heard anything from Bertram, but I'll let him know about how good you did and about how you were cool about everything. And yeah, oh man. Bertram said it's like a vampire, but different. It's like what they have in China instead of vampires. He said lots of them have been coming to California for some reason. I don't know.
Thanks for coming back. What you need? Yeah, it's freaking me out, to be honest. I'm open all night and Santa Monica police don't rank amongst the nation's most worthy. Oh, I don't know. I heard earlier someone at the pier got ripped up like that poor bastard in Long Beach the other day. I'll tell you, crazy stuff happens all the time, and it's like we just get used to it, just going our way, do-do-do. But this, I don't know. These killings are chilling.
Not even a knock? I could have been undressing. And who knows what I would have had to do to you. You're here to see Her Royal Majesty Queen Victoria, aren't you? Really? Do I often pogo stick through your thoughts wearing nothing but a smile? Be honest. Or don't. What all swayed kittens do. On hands and knees you lap up the milk of me, and we purr, kitten, like dragonflies buzzing around frog bellies. So, Therese told me you might be back with something for her. Do you have it with you? I'm not just some silly doll, All my life, my sisters made me out to be a joke. She told you I was an embarrassment, didn't she? That I couldn't tie my shoes, let alone hold on to something for her. Is that it? She's always belittling me. She's the smart one. She's the favorite. She's the successful one. Well, it's not fair. I'm not a fool. This club's success is just as much my doing as it is hers. Do you understand what it's like to have your own flesh and blood ripping you apart on a daily basis for 2 lifetimes? Can you? Fine, you hold on to it. Since you're so willing to brave that big spooky place for my darling sister, how about doing a teensy tiny favor for little troubled me? Do you know Gallery Noir down the street? I happen to know there's a charity event being organized there. Lots of influential Santa Monicans slithering in for token appearances. But there's one thing they don't know. The whole event's been set up by a kindred trying to establish their own power clique in our city. And we can't let that happen, can we? So I need some brilliant young upstart to spoil the milk. I promise this won't take long. Take this knife. Give the paintings in the gallery a good slashing. Don't get caught, and don't turn it into a massacre. And steal the charity box, would you? Buy yourself something velvet. I'm sure Therese will be thrilled to honor your agreement when you get back. But in the meantime, get to the museum and ruin those paintings. Then pay me a visit. I want to hear all about it. Hurry up. I can only amuse myself for so long. Oh, and there was something about the paintings. What was it? I can't remember. Oh well, have fun, Duckling.
Hey, hold on a minute there. I'm afraid you are committing a 351. That's trespassing on private property. I'm gonna have to ask that you vacate the premises immediately, or I'm afraid I'll be forced to radio this in. Huh? What call are you talking about there, Chief? And who might you be then, Chief? Yeah? Does that pay well? Just taking one look at you, I'd say there's a lot of money in that line of work. Me, security's in my blood. My father's father, my 6 brothers. Yeah, we're all real keen on upholding the law, like a family of Magnum PIs. Look, I'll let you in, but I'll be filing a 62A on this when I get back to the security station after my shift, just so you're aware. Yeah, that's right. I mean, who wouldn't file a 45B, huh? Everyone knows about 45B. Anyway, go ahead on in, and you have yourself a nice night.
You. What were you thinking? The museum. That was my event! Did you think I wouldn't find out? Shut up. I thought I could control my sister as long as Tongue was out of the picture, but nothing's changed. I should have expected that you'd succumb to Jeanette's influence like all the others, but how dare you! Don't lie to me! Jeanette already confessed she tricked you into doing it. It was probably all Tongue's idea. I'll deal with them later, but that's still no excuse for you ruining my museum. Excellent. I'll take that. However, Jeanette claimed you did it for her, but let's say I believe you. After all, you've acted decently and rationally up to now. I imagine you'd still like me to call off the feud. There's only one problem. If Tongue gets word that I threatened Jeanette, which he most certainly already has, it's not likely he'll believe me. So, in order to call off the feud, you're going to have to convince Jeanette to forgive me first. I made some threats against my sister. Idle threats, involving fire and her impious satin sheets. She took them quite seriously, and is avoiding me. I want to meet with her, and explain that they were said in the heat of the moment. I asked her to meet me at the Surfside Diner, to reconcile, but I'm busy with the club and my other endeavors. I'd like you to go to the diner and promise her that I don't plan to take any action against her. Wait for her in the back booth, near the phones. For all her unwholesome diversions and irritating disruptions, I should be less tolerant of her. She is my sister, however, and I suppose I'm obligated to forgive her trespasses. I did sire her, after all. Please, be quick about it.
I'm terribly sorry about that. My sister was just furious about your refusal to take part in her design, so she sent those men to kill you. But I'm going to make sure it never happens again. Drop by. We'll take care of this Tongue business. She's crazy! Help!
You. I'm really sorry it had to end this way. I truly am. You seemed promising, but you've been tainted by the stink of my sister's schemes. And now I'm going to make sure she never double-crosses me again. Don't listen to her. She'll kill us both. Save me and I'll help you find Bertram, I swear. Shut up, Jeanette! I warned you to stay away from Tongue. He's turned you against me. I always looked out for you, but you couldn't stand my success. You had to meddle, didn't you? I didn't want it to end like this, but you forced me. I wasn't sticking my fingers in anyone's pie, dear sister. Of course you weren't. Just like you weren't working with him. Is it any different than the way you treated Father? Father? Oh, Therese, you poor deluded dear. I treated Father exactly the way he deserved to be treated. And he treated you like a... You don't say a word about Father. Your heart still belongs to Daddy after all these years, eh, sister? At least he loved me. You take that back, you bitch! You never gave me any credit for anything, Therese. I was the one calling the shots. Bertram was dancing on my leash. How does it feel to know that I beat you? Isn't it obvious? I'm about to rid the night of this deviant, backstabbing whore. Do you realize that despite her condition, she still fornicates with kind, no less? So despicable. So unclean. You're one to talk, dear sister. Or should I say Daddy's little girl? Do you want to know just how depraved the Baron of Santa Monica can be? Shut up, Jeanette. You'd love the world to think you're a saint. When you thought I was asleep, I used to hear Father come in at night. I heard him whisper how much he loved you in your ear before he... Don't finish that sentence, or you're dead. Don't you want to hear what happened? How she became the pillar of the community she is today? Shut up. Just shut up! Don't try and stop me. I've had to overlook her treachery, her seduction, relations with my enemies, and the consequences of it. But I won't endure her any longer. Endure me? Dear sister, you've done everything you could to smother me. You love to bury me in your closet, along with all your other skeletons. I'm the good girl. You're the wicked one. You've done nothing but plot against me, when I had our best interests at heart. And despite that, I've always covered up your mistakes. I've taken care of you. And this is how you repay me? Taken care of me? You've done nothing but keep me down, blame me for every mistake. Did you expect me to let you rule my life until the end of time? No, sister. You've had it coming since our last sunrise. Is that right, dear? If it wasn't for me, you would have never survived this long. Remember? They tried to separate us, but I refused. I chose this life and brought you into it so that we could stay together. Obviously, you've forgotten. She's a control freak. People, things, emotions. If she can't control something, she gets rid of it. And you're a wild animal. You'll rub up against anything that'll take you in for the night. Then when you're stuffed and bored, you bite the hand that fed you. I don't think that's possible. How could I ever think to trust her again? Trust me? Who could trust you after what happened with Father Dearest? Father loved me. I was a good girl. I always did what I was told. You always hated that he loved me. You disobeyed him. You brought men home when he wasn't there. You were an awful daughter to him. Father came home drunk one day and mistook me for Therese. Because I'd fallen asleep in her bed. Don't listen to her. She's lying. Therese walked in while he was there, and she saw me lying with him, and so she went to the closet and pulled out his hunting shotgun, loaded it with deer shot, and blew his mind out all over the silly clown wallpaper. That's a lie. Father killed himself because of Jeanette. She made him miserable. As I recall, he died with a smile on his face. Why? How will this time be any different? I'd be better off without her. Have you been paying attention? Oh, yes, Therese. Without me, you'd be free to remake this city in your own image. It'd be the first beachfront morgue. Therese doesn't like to share. Jeanette's irresponsible. She's undependable. A venture like mine requires class and distinction, which is something a pigtailed, face-painting harlot does not lend very well. You do have a way with words, sister. You're right. I'm not in the same class, am I? I mean, murderers are so respectful these days. More responsibility. So that she can ruin every opportunity I give her? Of course. You're the only one who can secure zoning permits and shake hands. I'd never be able to keep up. But I only do it for attention and out of love. You do it because you're vindictive and jealous, and you deserve it. If she would stop treating me like a child, if she would start behaving like a rational adult. Yes, there was a time. When I was a child, I didn't have many friends. I suppose Jeanette was the only one. We never did get to go out of the house much. Father wouldn't allow us. He said we'd get hurt, so we stayed inside and we imagined our own worlds. And we spent so much time there together, ruling over those places. Those were happier times, before we grew apart. I never did. No, I guess I don't. Jeanette, if I were to offer you equal control in Santa Monica, would you quit consorting with Tongue? I'll stop working against you with him. But since I've got him in my pocket already, there's no reason for me not to pay him a little visit once in a while, when he can be of use. That's not a bad plan. There's just one more thing. I want to be in charge of Santa Monica, but only publicly. I want you to continue to convince others that our relations are strained. That way, we know who our enemies are. I agree. Take it. I'd hate to look at it again and think of what almost transpired. I suppose now that Jeanette and I have settled our differences, I'll call off the feud with Tongue. Bertram's hiding in an empty oil tank at the old gas station. I'll tell him to expect a visitor, and I'll ask him to be extra nice. Please give Santa Monica's regards to the prince, and keep your tongue tied about what happened tonight, or we'll have to kill you.
Look who finally made it. Thought you'd never find me, huh? I've gotten good at knowing when I'm wanted. The one and only. But don't bother with the introductions, fledgling. I know who you are. News travels down the kindred grapevine like wildfire. And that courtroom spat between LaCroix and Nines Rodriguez is a juicy little morsel. And you in the middle. How interesting. Oh, you did you? Well, I wasn't worried. So why did you need to find me? What did you need? Oh, never mind. The warehouse, though. I've been watching the place. The Sabbat has a bunch of low-life humans working day and night to move stuff through there. There's some major staging going on. The Sabbat? Jeez, you are green. It's like this. We're all monsters, like it or not. I'm not going to say the Sabbat are the evil vampires, because none of us are the good guys here. But the Sabbat, they glorify their monstrous nature. They refuse to hide it, and go out of their way to show it. They're also brainless and reckless. They have a life expectancy of a vampire fruit fly. As far as I can tell, the humans seem to know the score from the way they've been talking. I think most of them have aspirations of joining the next graduating class of shovelheads. Ugh, losers. Yeah, the Sabbat like everyone to know just who they're dealing with. So if you get in there and have to bust a few heads, don't feel bad. Think of it as upholding the Masquerade. Yes, I can. Just tell me when you're ready, and we'll leave. Once you're there, however, you're on your own. You'll have to get into the place and plant the explosives in the middle office to take the whole structure down.
The warehouse. Your handiwork, I presume? Hopefully no Sabbat saw you escape. They can be somewhat antagonistic. I see my reputation, for once, does not precede me. My name is Beckett. I haven't been following you per se. We've just coincidentally been at the same places at the same time, for different reasons. So sorry if I unnerved you. Tell me, have you by chance seen or felt anything strange since your embrace? A ghost? Quite ordinary. I generally pay wraiths no mind. All but a few are willing to give up their secrets. Thin bloods. They're a fascination of mine. They are considered a weaker, more human-like kindred, hence the name, Thin Blood. But they are sired same as any of us. I've heard a large concentration of them live in this city. They're one of the reasons I'm in Los Angeles. She's undoubtedly Malkavian. Or should I say, they are undoubtedly Malkavian. Most of my contacts here report sensing something unusual in the night air, like a sense of dread or pressure. But I'm not a native to these parts, so I can't tell if it's irregular. And since you're still fresh, perhaps you're not attuned to it. Pleasure meeting your acquaintance, but there are rumblings for me to discredit. We shall, I'm certain, meet again. Or never again. Good night, young one, and be careful. You're very likely being hunted by the Sabbat.
Nice work, fledgling. I felt that explosion a mile away. It's all over the news, too. Man, there's gonna be some pissed-off Sabbat just howling for blood tonight. Beckett? Well, I know of him. Why? No kidding. Huh. Must be something major happening if he's in town. Beckett is a historian of sorts. He's unearthed more vampire lore than anyone. Well, that's all Beckett does. Seek the truth behind our condition. What do you need? That was just silly vampire politicking, fledgling. No more. You get used to that kind of thing. I had my suspicions. What an interesting specimen. But a pain in my dead ass for sure. Of course it did. As if vampires and women both weren't insecure enough. Get them together in one Malkavian body, and look what happens. Yeah, no kidding. Now that the Camarilla has moved into L.A., Therese wants the title of Prince of Santa Monica. I guess she saw me as a threat. Funny thing is, I could care less. I wouldn't want to be the Prince of Terre Haute. I leave that headache to the Ventru. Besides, there's only like 4 vampires in all of Santa Monica. Some kingdom. Like what? Clans are just bloodlines, you know. A common root shared and passed on from sire to child. They're a bunch of malcontents. They get pumped up by rousing the rabble they keep around them. Like that's hard. Nothing breeds faster than contempt. And that's what the Bruja are all about. Jealousy and contempt. Sure. Well, they fancy themselves loners and drifters running around the countryside and barking at the moon. It's all just an act. Gangrel can walk upright. They just choose not to. Sure. Malkavians are, interesting. There's something to them. Learning to sort the wisdom from the bullshit can be some work, and not all of them are worth listening to, but they're all good fun, if you ask me. Yeah. The Anarchs. Yeah, I respect what they do, strenuous liberty and all that jazz, but they're kidding themselves. Wherever there's an ounce of power to be had, there'll be people dicking each other over. You think the Camarilla invented that? From what I hear, he's a likable sort, and that's a problem. Nines Rodriguez is the kind of guy you want on your side, and more kindred go anarch every day 'cause of him. Sure. What am I gonna say? He's the boss now. He's LaCroix's iron fist. No one knows the sheriff, really, except LaCroix. No one even knows the guy's name. There's lots of rumors about him, though. I heard LaCroix picked him up in Africa over 100 years ago. Obviously, they work well together. The Nosferatu are damn good at what we do. No one even argues that. If you need to know, if you want it found, you come to us. We're indispensable. Not a bad place to be in the afterlife. The Nosferatu stick together, pool resources. We have more going on than anyone could guess at. Our web blankets the night. I'm loyal to the clan, loyal to my primogen, and therefore loyal to the Camarilla. The Nosferatu are the eyes and ears of the Camarilla, so they take care of us. They value our services, or don't want to be on our bad side. Either way, No one bothers us. I don't rub elbows with the pretty bloodsuckers much, but I've seen them work people like puppeteers, and that's admirable. Now, if only they'd get off their slimy asses and put their talent to some use besides feeding their egos. Save it, Don Juan. Your silver tongue might get tarnished licking this hide. Like what? Sure. Mages. I don't have any reason to trust them. They're creepy, and I think they like it that way. But to be honest, I don't hear much about the Tremere. There's a few in LA, but all in all, there's not that many of them. Well, they get a bad rap, if you ask me. Everyone likes to take shots at the man in charge, but when it comes to getting the job done, the Ventrue know how to step up. They can take the heat. Yeah. You ask me, the Sabbat makes no sense. They couldn't care less about the Masquerade, and they seem to care even less about themselves. It's like, hey, let's all spread hell on Earth so we can feel big and bad. Oops, I'm dead. Now how did that happen? Yeah. The Camarilla works. When you let vampires run wild, you wind up with caitiff frenzying in the streets, then bloods blowing the Masquerade, and hunters sniffing around. Law and order is the kindred's friend. Caitiff are just riffraff vampires who don't know anything about vampire society. Don't know their clan, mutt vampires. What I suspect you were perilously close to becoming if LaCroix hadn't intervened.